Hi, it's Sally-Shakti, your visionary writing guide, and welcome to Tarot and Astrology for Visionary Writers from the 27th of March to the 2nd of April, 2023. I don't know about you, but I feel like the energy we're in this week is a bit of a still point in between some very big astrological energies that we've been moving through. A moment for pause, reflection, and integration. We might be finding that we are preparing to start a new creative direction with our visionary writing journey or our visionary creative practice. We may feel that we're in between or in the preparation phase of beginning a new creative journey. Let's recap on the last week and the last month. We've had Saturn enter Pisces earlier this month, which I've spoken about a lot and will continue to speak about a lot. We're going to be working with those energies for the next 3 years. And that for me is a call to co-create with spirit and bring spirit into form through our visionary writing and creative practices. And in the past week, last Monday, the 20th of March, we had the spring equinox, the Aries equinox, the entry of the sun into the sign of Aries, and that marks the beginning of a new cycle of the zodiac, a new astrological year. So we've had the ending of we had the end of Pisces, the end of the previous astrological year, moving into the rebirth of Aries and the new astrological year, followed really quickly last week on Tuesday by the first of 2 Aries new moons, and that was in the first degrees of Aries. What also is coming up, as I mentioned last week, is that the Pisces new moon point was reactivated by Saturn on I think it was like Sunday the 19th. So, relatively recently, within the last 10 days, that's happened. So last week was a big week. We have the beginning of a new astrological cycle. We have really strong planetary energy in Aries at the moment, with Jupiter beginning a new astrological cycle in Aries since the winter solstice, December 2022. We also have Chiron and Mercury currently in Aries. So we also at that on when we had the equinox and the new moon, we also had the sun and the moon in Aries as well. Sun is still in Aries. So we have a lot of strong energies in Aries for this beginning of a new cycle and the completion of an old cycle, for which we may have experienced some grief and a certain amount of letting go and releasing. On Friday, Friday last week, was it Friday? No, Thursday, the 23rd, we had Pluto entering Aquarius. Pluto making its first journeys into Aquarius for a few months, giving us a taste of what's to come over the next 20 years. A huge planetary transit when Pluto leaves one sign and enters a new sign. That only happens every 20 or so years. That's a big one. We also then had, when did this happen? We had Mars going into Cancer on Saturday, the 25th. Mars has been in Gemini since August last year. And so again, it's another big shift in energies as Mars has gone direct, come out of its own shadow, and now changed signs. Mars is beginning to gain some momentum. So Mars is also activated by this Aries energy, this strong Aries energy that we're currently in, and is beginning to gain momentum. But in the sign of Cancer, we'll be feeling the water of emotion and maybe not quite getting the traction of new energy until Mars comes into the fire sign of Leo. So I feel like this week is a week of integration, a week to integrate the energies that we've just been moving through, the real intensity of the last week and the last few weeks, as we prepare for the next phase of our rebirth and initiation process, when we have the second new moon in Aries happening on 20th of April. So we're in this period now in between two Aries new moons, one in the beginning degrees, one in the end degrees. The next one that's happening in April, it will also be a solar eclipse, a total solar eclipse, and will mark again another shift in cycles, another cyclical shift, another transit of energies as the eclipse point moves from Taurus into Aries. So we're in this energy for the next week or so of having a bit of a still point between these big energies to integrate the new light codes that have been coming in with the equinox, and to prepare for this deeper level of rebirth that's going to come through with the second Aries new moon, which coincides with, as I said, will be a total solar eclipse, will mark the shift of the eclipse points from Taurus into Aries, and will also activate Pluto in Aquarius. So again, we've got some big energies coming up, some big death and rebirth, life and death cycle energies coming up. We can prepare as visionary writers and creatives to really be birthing our soul's vision, our soul's purpose in the year and the years to come. This week or so feels like a more gentle time, a gentler time to begin to integrate and reflect on some of the energies that we've just been moving through. We have some quite gentle aspects this week. Monday 27th, we've got the moon sextiling Chiron, Mercury and Jupiter. So the moon now in Gemini and sextiling those three planets that are currently in Aries. That feels to me like the moon is bringing forward the seeds of our rebirth and our intentions. The intentions that we set on the Aries new moon that we've just had are activating in a harmonious aspect, interacting harmoniously with Chiron, Mercury and Jupiter in Aries, to bring forward the seeds of our intention, to bring forward the positive qualities, the deeper healing and the ability to communicate, that's Mercury, and the expansion of our intentions and desires as we move this energy forward and as the moon begins to wax in its waxing cycle towards the full moon. So we've got the moon currently activating these energies in a way that feels like it brings forward the positive qualities of Chiron, Mercury and Jupiter to inflect and influence the intentions that we set at the new moon. Although by Wednesday and Thursday, the moon will have moved through and be squaring those three planets. So that's a checkpoint. That's a rapid, it's a rapid cycle and it's a rapid checkpoint to, check in with ourselves. How are we doing with our intention? What needs to be, where can we assess and discern and course correct if we need to? But these are small energies. These are kind of you know, if I was talking about the tarot, these would be kind of minor arcana energies, but they are happening for us in our daily lives this week. Just an opportunity to check in, maybe to do a little bit of coming into stillness, coming into a little bit of centering yourself, and check in this week with what's showing up for you in relation to the intentions that you set at the Aries new moon, because we have this opportunity in between two Aries new moons to see perhaps where we might need to course correct and move ourselves forward towards the second Aries new moon with that second opportunity to make our stronger intentions for rebirth. So what is the creative desire of our soul's vision? What is the purpose that is driving us and that we are really feel like we're here to create in this world, and the seeds that we can sow to begin that creative process? Because we'll also have both the moon and Mars trining Saturn this week as well, and that's another positive aspect. We've got the moon in Cancer trining Saturn in Pisces on Tuesday, and then Mars in Cancer trining Saturn in Pisces on Thursday. So we've got this very supportive energy between those planets, where again, first the moon and then Mars are going to check in with Saturn, you know, asking us again to check in with ourselves. You know, what is the creative vision? What is our soul calling us to bring forward? What is our soul's creative vision and desire in this life at this time? That is the big energy of Saturn in Pisces. And the moon and Mars are both going to just activate that energy in a harmonious way to ask us and to give us support to actually start to take the first steps, sow the first seeds, take action in the right direction, and move ourselves forward with what it is that our soul is desiring to bring through and create, co-create with spirit in our visionary writing and creative practice in this world at this time. So we have some real, I feel like we have some very supportive energies for our creative vision, for our bigger creative vision, but we can check in with that on a very intimate and personal level this week, when there's not so much big astrological weather, there's not so much big astrological energy to, you know, to distract and destabilize us. We can bring in a little bit of integration time where we're going to be supported by some positive aspects to both move forward, plant the seeds, take the first few steps, and to check in with how we are, how we're creating the foundations for the creative visionary practice that our soul is calling us forward for to create in this year and in the years to come. So let's see who from the tarot wants to step up and support us or give us an invitation. Oh, it's Four of Pentacles again. Recently had the Four of Pentacles. She did come up reversed for me just now. So yeah, if I feel into the Four of Pentacles again, we've had a meeting with the Four of Pentacles recently, and again, this is a very, I feel like this is a very timely invitation for the kind of gentle self-inquiry that we are invited into this week. You know, as we're invited into a little bit of integration time. Again, the Four of Pentacles really for me asks us to step back from where we might be overgiving our energy in certain areas of our lives, and to bring our energies back to ourselves, to become grounded and still in our own physical body, to become very much aware of our resources and how we are utilizing them. And that might also be an invitation, as we think about the bigger sort of astrological and political energies that are moving at this time, that might be an invitation to check in with our finances and to check in with the physical and material resources that we have. And again, that's Saturn. Saturn, this is Saturn, the energy of Saturn, and Saturn is here now in the early degrees of Pisces, activating us as creative visionaries, not only to bring spirit into form through our creative writing and our creative practice, but to check in with ourselves in terms of our checking in with our resources, checking in with our physical, energetic, and material resources. Do we have what we need to support and sustain us on this path? Because we are learning, especially with Saturn in Pisces, I feel we're learning to walk our visionary path in a more balanced relationship with the physical and material world. It's essential that we are balanced and resourced in our physical and material energies and our physical and material resources that will support us to bring forward our creative visions and share them with the world. So do we have what we need? How can we call back to ourselves any energies or resources that we may have given away? How can we reclaim for ourselves our own creativity, our own creative energy, our own creative practice? How can we nourish ourselves physically and materially to ensure that we are resourced to bring forward the gifts and the visions that our soul is calling us to create and to co-create? So the invitation with this Four of Pentacles, especially since she arrived a little bit reversed, I feel there's an invitation to check in here. And as we receive this supportive energy with these trines to Saturn, we're being invited to, I think certainly from my perspective, being invited into a more harmonious relationship with Saturn. I haven't had a great relationship with Saturn, with the material world, with physical resources. And that is something that I'm really looking to address during this Saturn in Pisces time. I feel like it is time. Time is one of the resources that I have not had a good relationship with. Time as it is, time as it manifests in this 3D world. I know myself and many of us on this path have not necessarily had a great relationship with time, with Saturn as the timekeeper. And what's coming through to me as I say that is the vision I've been having recently of Saturn in Pisces. That Saturn in Pisces for me feels like the energy of the crone, the Kaliak, Baba Yaga. Saturn in the patriarchal system, known also as Kronos, time. But that word Kronos relates to crone, elderhood, wise womanhood. How can we integrate a more balanced and healthy relationship with time, with our financial resources, with our physical resources, to support us as creative writers, as visionary creatives and writers on this path of co-creation with spirit? Because spirit needs us in this physical form, in this physical world, and spirit needs us to be resourced and supported so that we can bring forward the visions that we're being shown and that we're being asked to co-create. And as Baba Yaga, for example, I see Saturn in Pisces as the, those three pairs of hands that come out of the ether. They bring into tangible form or they manifest in tangible form from spirit. And Baba Yaga, the crone, the elder, the timekeeper, the wisdom keeper, she's no nonsense. She is here to teach us through the physical and material world that she inhabits, and the tasks that she sets in the physical material real world tasks that she sets to Vasilisa, to sort the seeds and grind the bread, and those are the things. I think it's the hands that grind the bread, but these are real world manifestations from spirit into form, and Baba Yaga is the keeper of those mysteries. So if we can, that's my vision, and my invitation to you is to, if you haven't had a good relationship with Saturn, maybe take the invitation to envision Saturn as the crone energy, the timekeeper, the wisdom keeper, the guardian of the mysteries of this physical world, and that she needs us to be fully resourced and boundaried, to be taking care of what's ours, and to be fully resourced materially, physically, financially, energetically, to be able to bring forth the creative visions that spirit wants to share with us. And spirit needs us to be in these physical bodies on this physical earth at this time, and to come into a more harmonious relationship with Saturn, with this world, in order to do that, in order to bring through the visions that are being shared with us. So I feel like this week is a gentle but positive invitation to do those things, and to just check in with how we're doing in relation to our intention setting, knowing that we have this stronger call coming up with the next Aries new moon that's going to really activate our creative visionary potential, and probably prompt us to really fully release whatever is not coming with us on this next phase of our journey. So this is an opportunity to come back to stillness, to quietness, to gentle self-inquiry, and to perhaps focus that inquiry, at least in part, on how we intend to resource ourselves through this coming time, so that we can be the physical vessel for co-creating with spirit and manifesting our soul's highest vision into form through our visionary writing and visionary creative practices. So that's my invitation for this week, and I'm really interested to hear how that shows up for any of you. If you want to leave any comments, or you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Writing Thriving. Love to connect. Wishing you well until the next time, and thanks for being here. Sending you lots of love.